Hello, y'all. How are y'all doing? See if anybody gets on here. Yep, I was cleaning my house all day, so kind of look like shit. Feel like shit. See if anyone gets on here. Hey, hello, who's ever on here? How are you? Yeah, I know, I look awful, but I was cleaning my house all day. As you see, I got a new setup for my table. How are y'all doing? Oh, yeah, one other thing. Look. Yeah, got the camera going, so you won't be able to see my face much anymore when I do videos. Which is probably a good thing. Better picture quality. But yeah. I was gonna get on. Yeah, say hello. This is question and answer time. As you can tell, my voice isn't. I'm dealing with not feeling the greatest. Cold symptoms, coughing, you know, the whole nine. But spent all day cleaning my room, fixing my table. Who's on here? I see somebody is. Say something. All right, just stay on here then. Can't say hi. Creepy. I brought this on for a question and answer, so I'll see how long anybody gets on here. And I was just wondering if anybody else was experiencing anything like I am. Because after what had happened the other week with the cyst in my throat, and then that went away, and then now I'm feeling better. Then I get this, I don't know. Last 2 days I felt very flu-like, and I look like asshole, but I've been cleaning, getting my stuff done around my house, getting stuff decorated for Christmas. Yeah, my voice does not sound normal, but even on my Santa mug. Who's on here? I see you're on here. Who's stalking me? Well, I'm going to finish up my readings. I'm going to try and use my camera. And I look like hell, so that's a good thing. You're not going to be able to see me now. But, yeah. Going to do Libra, Virgo, Scorpio. Who else do I need to do yet? Libra, Scorpio, Virgo. I'm going to do, I know I did like Leo and Cancer. Sorry. But it was like from November 20th to December 15th. I'm just going to put everything December. So I'm going to redo Leo and Virgo. And then I'm going to start with a mini love reading. So I'm going to try and get the majority of them done. And that'll be that. And then at the end of the month of the November videos, I'm going to add everything up and I'll let y'all know who had the top 3 winners for the major love readings for the signs. So that will be that. I want to thank all my past subscribers plus all my new ones. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've been going back and forth in my mind. Do I want to up my readings next month to 44, or do I want to keep them at 33? Gotta think. We'll see. Hello, who's ever on here? There's one person on here that didn't say nothing. Now there's two. Hello. Either way, I was wondering if you guys had any questions or answers for me. But since nobody's talking, I'll let you guys know that I'm going to... Who do I want to do next? I already did Aries, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aquarius, and Gemini. So, I still have to do 7 other signs. Hello to the 3 people on here. How are you? Yes, I know I look like death. Either way, I wanted to let you guys know that my videos are going to be shot differently from now on. I have my camera ready to go. And, yeah. Once in a while, I may still do the regular panel on me, but you're going to get a closer up view of when I'm actually pulling the cards and when they come out. So you'll know it's me. Either way. Just wanted to let you know I'm all set up to go. The only thing is I can go live through there, which is super cool. But I decided to, I have a chip reader coming in so that I can actually do regular videos and not have to do everything live. I could do pre-recorded when I feel like it. And then, even though I don't mind doing my stuff live, like, I don't have to do my stuff pre-recorded. Doesn't matter to me. Spirit talks to me all the time. So it doesn't really matter. But I wanted a better quality picture than what I have. Not to mention, it's kind of nice because this thing has a tripod and stuff. Here, I'll show you. So, you guys will get a real good view of the table now. As when cards are coming out. Man, I look terrible. It's not like I haven't been sleeping because I haven't been feeling the greatest. So I've been getting lots of sleep. It's why I haven't been on here because my voice is, yeah, sinusy. So, I got my projector going. See? I got my snowflakes going. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Yeah, a lot of my past videos, I had you know, I used my cell phone, but I got a camera and I've been kind of like messing with it. I had to hook it up through my phone, which is a pain in the rear end to begin with, but I had to hook up the app through my phone so I can actually run it through my phone. And I also have, it's not the best camera, but it's better than using my cell phone. And it's kind of nice because when I'm pulling cards, it'll be real good as far as you guys will be able to see the cards instead of me pulling them up and showing them to you. Even though you see them come out, I still think it'll be nice if you can actually see the cards when they come out and not have to look at my ugly mug all the time. Either way. Yeah, I don't sound the best, but hey, what's your sign again, hun? Well, I feel like crap. I feel like shit. Well, I did Gemini's. I don't know if you saw Gemini's reading I did. Is there anybody you're interested in? Is there any other sign that you suggest I should do? Kind of waiting. I don't know. I don't either. I mean, I still have Scorpio to do. I have Capricorn, Leo, Libra, Cancer. I did my favorites first. Aries is done for December, but I want to get these generals out and fixed. and ready to go so that I could do the mini love readings. I play favorites. I don't care. I mean, there's good and bad in every sign, obviously. There's good and bad with every person. I mean, everything, and it's not even really just a person's sun sign. You got to look at the whole doggone chart and then see how they act accordingly. But yeah, if you got to watch, did you get to watch my Gemini reading? Because I know there's some pretty dope ass Scorpios. My son is one, my oldest son. He's a pretty cool Scorpio. I'm an Aries, but I like my mutable signs too. Oh, you do? Yeah. Well, one of the things that I have found out, because my rising sign is Libra, and I found out that my Pluto, hey Boofy, how are you? I found out that my rising sign, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I'll leave this up. I had found out that with my rising sign being Libra and Pluto is in my rising sign, that puts me in the same category as a Scorpio. In a lot of the ways I think and act and respond. That could possibly be why back in June, I also attract Scorpios like a sucker. I was married to one. Hi, how are you? Sorry if I sound a little nasally and stuff. I've been going through, I'm not running a fever. I feel pretty decent otherwise. But, I mean, I'm coughing. I don't know if it's because I quit smoking. I did. I quit smoking. I still smoke on my vape, but when it comes to smoking cigarettes, I'm really trying to cut that out. So some of that might be coming up too. Thank you. I'm really trying. And getting this has been helping. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about if any of you guys have been experiencing this type of stuff as well, as far as feeling under the weather, being exhausted all the time, whether or not you feel or felt like you're dealing with people with MPD, and whether or not you feel like your giftings have, since dealing with those people, if your giftings have come into full force due to the fact that your senses have opened up because they had to as a survival mechanism, basically. Well, one of the things I can tell you is I started noticing. Do you guys know what MPD is? Or people with the dark triad? Yes, it's narcissistic personality disorder. It's most people, every person has healthy narcissistic traits, or are born with that self-survival, you want what's best for you, self-love. Because a lot of times when it comes to being empathic, we tend to almost flip over to the side of being codependent. Oh. Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that if you would like. I had done some stuff, and if you go through all my videos, I probably have 120 videos on here now. I probably did 8 or 9 videos on narcissistic personality disorder and what had happened to me. If you go back through, and please do not hold it for who I am now from what I was back then. I was just getting out of a really, really bad covert narcissistic relationship. Didn't realize it. Well, I kind of did. But I mean, I didn't, the symptoms of coming out of a relationship like that, I'm telling you. And then the time it takes to heal your inward self and your inner child. I mean, he triggered I don't hate him. Actually, not at all. He did me a favor. Unfortunately, he can't have that same thing unless he can humble himself and begin to forgive people. Most narcissists can't forgive people. They harbor a lot of bitterness and resentment, jealousy, envy, anger, rage. And the thing is it comes out in different forms. It might not come out in a form of rage that, okay, it might not come out in a form. Yes. And I found the good in what has happened to me. And it wasn't just one. I dealt with these people from the time I was born. My grandma, I'm pretty sure, is a narcissist. Not my favorite grandma, my other one. I listen to a lot, I still do, daily, just to keep my head, not going to that place of trying to be like, oh, wanting to even connect back up. Now, I have noticed I'm 5 months out. No physical contact whatsoever. That I've been single. I have not been in a relationship. I would like to eventually find somebody who's just like me, with opposite or better than me, like more spiritual than me, that is a leader. That's what I'm looking for. That understands what I do and why I do it. And it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with all of you guys. And obviously, I want to thank all my subs. Thank you. My channel's growing every day, and I appreciate it so much, that I'm being able to help the collective, and that I'm resonating with the collective of who I'm reaching. I'm not one of those type of people who are like, oh yeah, I need 25K subs, 50. It doesn't really, it'd be nice because then I can get stuff monetized. I can get merchandise, but like, that's big time for me. Right now, I'm just looking at getting myself established again, because honestly, doing this and getting into the tarot has been a lifesaver for me. I couldn't really even want to get out of my house after coming out of a relationship like that. It was hard, really hard, and I'm getting there. Every day I'm getting better and better and better, even though my body's like feeling like shit today, but hey, how are you? Nice to see you. I know, and I really believe that on platforms like this, we're going to be able to find our tribe and we're going to be able to connect with people. I've connected with people all over the world, which is super freaking cool. Like, if I wouldn't have had YouTube, and if I wouldn't have been able to do what I do for you guys and still feel like I was able to give, my gifts, then I don't think I would even be anywhere close to where I am now. Like, I'm so thankful. Mike on the Peace, I don't know if, I know some of you watch The Peace Dealer, but I want to tell you all, y'all need to watch The Peace Dealer. That's one powerful group of people. I love him. Yeah. Were you in the ceremony the other night for the Gemini full moon? I'm going to tell you what. Man, I got hammered to the point where I went outside to burn the paper that we were supposed to burn and to release. You watched it? Well, even I'm sure you probably still got hammered because you want to know what? When you watch them, the power is still there from all of us coming together, even though it's through the airwaves. That goes to show you when we all connect. Sorry, someone messaged me. When we all connect up with one another, man, the synergy that happens, it's crazy. And I noticed the activations. Now, with those activations, there's positive. The 4 of Diamonds keeps coming out. Huh. That's interesting. Sorry, I had to look at my picture. And I want to show you guys something. I'm going to turn this projector off, though, because it's a little bit annoying. Hang on. I want to show you something, which you guys don't really get to see. It's some of my artwork. Can you see that picture? Can you guys see that picture? Well, I can actually flip my camera around, so I know you can. Hang on. See if I can flip. Yeah, there we go. There. Each one of these pictures, look at this one. I got these pictures. Let me flip it back. I got those pictures about 6 years ago. Way before I ever even thought or considered doing tarot cards. What that spoke to me. A lot of it had to do with the tattoo that I have on my arm, which is the Queen of Hearts and Queen of Diamonds. The 4 of Diamonds. See, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know. I don't use playing cards usually. I never studied the playing cards to do tarot with them. I use tarot cards to do tarot. That would probably be something interesting. It probably wouldn't take me long to learn, but I'm not sure. That would be something that you could ask somebody else who has used those. Not positive. You can Google it, look it up. That would be something that would be interesting to learn. Either way, I wanted to talk about ascension symptoms. Okay. Well, that would make sense because with diamonds being monetary, that makes sense. So I would assume that that whole suit then would be the earth signs. See, all that it'd have to take is for me to figure out what the suits were to who they go to, and I'd be able to really quick. Then 4 of Diamonds would be 4 of Pentacles, which would be the fellow you would look at that as holding back emotion, which is the way I look at the 4 of Pentacles a lot of times, or somebody not being willing to share. You know, I call it the stingy person card. I have my own names for these cards. I did order a new deck. Should be here Tuesday. Look at all the decks I have over here. It's ridiculous. Some of them I don't even use. I have so many decks of cards. I got to read up on them. Like I have the Vice Versa deck, which is a pretty cool deck. It's just some of the meanings to the cards I got to reread. I got to do a lot of reading and studying. Either way, have any... I know. I got a lot. I got a lot of decks. And see, the Vice Versa deck comes with... Like I said, these ones are Old Faithful, man. These are Old Faithful for me. Actually, this one's my newest deck, and it's the Rider-Waite. And then I have this deck, and then I have the Crystal Visions. Those are my favorites. But I did get the Illuminati deck that's coming. I'm stoked. I love that deck. I do. That deck is super dope looking. So I'm excited that that's coming. But yeah, I have Oracle decks. And I did get another Oracle deck, which I haven't really used yet, which is this one. Work Your Light. I've used it in a private reading, but like there's actual cards that say yes and no, which is kind of cool for people who have questions. You know, it's just I got to sleep with these cards, and I got to really start studying them. And I'd like to start using the Vice Versa deck too. But even some of those cards have a little bit of a different meaning than what the regular tarot does. So that's what. And then there's the Shadow. I have the Shadowscapes deck, which is a beautiful deck. It's just the print on them so tiny. And then the book that comes with it is so tiny, and it's hard for me to read. Either way, I want to talk about Ascension right now. Is any of you guys going through or know what I'm talking about when I say Ascension? Or Ascension symptoms? I'm waiting for an answer. Okay. Yes, it is. It's not easy. Who does not know about this, I want you to YouTube it. Because if you are ever dealing with a situation that has to do with narcissistic people, I can kind of tie this in with that a little bit, because it pushed me right into Ascension. I mean, this obviously has been a path that I was supposed to take for a really long time. I got tattoos on my body that are awesome. Yeah. There's another girl who I've been watching too. And some might find her odd because she actually in the middle of some of her stuff when she's talking, she'll just start singing a tone, like a tone comes out like, ah, you know, and it's her on a different dimension. And it's bringing that tone into the 3D. And then that woman had the exact same dream I had. When Mars went into Pisces, that night I had a dream. And I couldn't put it into words because it was freaking creepy. And I was like, what is this? And then about a few days prior to today, I was like 2 days ago, I saw she talked about the exact same dream I had. And I'm like, all right. Apparently, I needed to see that video to let me know that I am on the right path and I am doing the right thing. So, you know, she talks about star seeds. Actually, I think the Peace Dealer had... Well, I'll tell you about it in a second. My Aquarius on here. I know you had said about this to me before. I'm going to address that, and then I'll tell you about my dream. Because it's odd. But then if you guys want to see that video, yeah, and then you start having these symptoms. How old are you? My Aquarius loves Aries. Because if there's a way that you can start going to therapy and or have any, do you have to live with her? Do you okay. Why do you have to stay with your mom? What's the reasoning behind why you feel you need to stay? Because you're never going to get, well, I don't want to say never because that's one of the other things that I've been doing is I've been watching the words I speak. Okay. Here's the thing. You might have to do what you don't want to do to break free of that. There's a thing. Yeah, because you have been brought up and conditioned by a narcissist. Yes. Do you want to know what? That's normal for people who have been narcissistically abused. Like at the beginning of this video when I was talking, I was like, I'm going to tell you what, when it comes to trying to get out of that, there's a such thing as called the narcissistic matrix. And it's in the 3D realm, and I'm getting chills when I'm talking about it. Until you can get out of that frame of mind and that way of thinking and conditioning, the person is the therapist you're seeing. Are they a trauma therapist who specializes in people with narcissistic personality disorder and people who have been narcissistically abused? And what do they suggest? Do you live in the States? One of the things I was trying to get out. Do you live in the States? The United States of America. I know people are from all over the world on here. Yes. Well, one of the things that I have an apartment building. And I never, like, I rented it out and I had nothing but horrible luck with it for the last 7 years. Go figure, Uranus is in Aries. Either way, I have been highly considering, I hate to move from my house, but I've been highly considering making that a healing house. For people who are on this path, just like me, to be able to come there, stay there, get better, and then, understand who they are and allow them to propel forward. We heal each other. We heal ourselves and teach this stuff. That's a dream that I have. I just wish I had the money to be able to do it. Like, I still have a mortgage and stuff, so I still have to make money off the place. But that's one thing. It was either that or I considered selling out all my shit and just picking up and moving somewhere else. Well, I also have a room for rent at my house. And I know of a therapist very close to me who, yeah, specializes in MPD and people who have been narcissistically abused. Not to mention, I've gone through the healing myself. Obviously, we're always going to have some triggers. And we're always going to be dealing with some things that have to do, you know, because narcissists are in society. We're going to have to deal with them. However, I'm no longer angry with mine. I shouldn't even say mine. I'm no longer angry with the ones who abused me. They are what they are. I just don't want them around me. Even though I know they watch my stuff, more power to them. Hope they learned something. Hope they can see they didn't destroy me. Hope they can see that I'm moving forward into victory. Either way, yes. Back to this. Either way, ascension symptoms. I think some of it's what I'm experiencing now. I don't know. I don't know about Clear Blue Jay. Are you still on here? The other night after the Peace Dealer's activation, I was freaking hungry. I'm telling you, I went probably 5 months and barely could eat anything. A year could barely eat anything because of dealing, just dealing with being emotionally screwed with. And that messes up your whole functioning system. Well, I got my appetite back. I put on like 6 or 7 pounds in like 2 months. I'm like, oh shit, I better watch what I eat because I'm able to start putting on weight again. Before I was 15 pounds. I look like hell. I look like, that's what these narcs do to you. And then you get your own self-worth and you're like, hey, I'm feeling better every day. And I was just going to come on and do readings, but I figured I wanted to kind of have a chat session with my subs. And like I said, thank you guys who have been on here with me. I've been getting new subs every day. If you see my videos, and you feel like if you could share them on your Facebook, Instagram, whatever, just to get me out there and get my videos out there, so that I get more subs and then I can get monetized. And I'd like to start doing our own activations and our own. My thing is I want to start doing healing ceremonies for people who have been narcissistically abused. Maybe even do activations with Ascension. Well, I do have another channel. It's there. I just got my camera. I've been waiting to get that, which has been bought by my subscribers, as well as these new cards that I got and that other set. Thank you. Thank you guys. For the ones who have bought readings from me, I do have, I have a donate button also on my phone or on my phone. See, my brain. I have a donate button on my channel. Any amount, if you can, even at $2, I don't care. Like, I'm going to put people in the name for a hat for a free reading. But if people start donating, that would be super cool. I'd love to do super chats too. I can't do that yet. I don't have enough subs. So I'm trying to get my subs up there so that I can start doing super chats and stuff too. And I can start pulling cards for you. But I will be starting my other channel next month. It's been weighing very heavy on me. That's why I want to get the rest of my generals for December done, and I want to get the mini love readings done. And I have the 3 main love readings. By the way, Aries is number 1. Pisces is in second, and Aquarius is third. My 3 favorite signs. Sorry, I love Gemini, but my readings, for some reason, I haven't really, like, some people get them. If you have any Gemini friends, please, my Gemini one here. Clear Blue Jay. Yep, Aries. And I can even show it to you when I get the stats. I do major love readings. I'm talking they're like 45 minutes. I do, which I don't know if you guys have saw the love spreads that I did, but I use different cards. I pull romance angels, and then I do the 9 card spread like I usually do, clarify the romance angels, and usually it ends up a good, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. So those are the 3 signs so far. We'll see if Gemini and them can hike it up a little bit. But yeah, Pisces did well. They're not too far behind, but Aries, well, actually, Aries is up to like 197 views. My stuff should be getting way more views than that. I have no clue why it's not being generated. I have no clue. Don't know. All I know is that I see people come on YouTube that have been on here 3 months and they're already up to 27K subscribers. How? At least I know the 300. Don't trust the view count. Well, views with the view count, there's people who are getting like 700 views in 2 hours. And I'm like, you've been on here 2 months and I rarely even saw you. Who the hell are you? I've been on here since they're group and organized. Oh. Okay. You guys have to tell me about this. I know, I hope that you guys all realize that I'm actually the real deal. I'm not a phony. Well, I have heard other things too, and I'm not ripping any other YouTubers at all, because there's some really, really good that I'm baffled. I saw that. I know. I'm happy that the subs that I know that I have are actual real people. I was told some subs they're not even real people. Well, the thing is I'm speaking truth. And I'm actually the real deal. There's a few others on here that are as well. There's some on here, though, that I'm kind of like, that's not what the Al Shakir records are telling us right now. For the ones, I mean, yeah, that could be a totally different group of Aries. But here's the thing for me. If I'm watching other reading, it's because I'm watching for my own self. I'm not watching to see like what Libra is doing. All of my stuff, the only reading that I watch is for Aries. That's it. I won't even watch for my rising moon or Venus. I don't care. So when I get readings for the other signs, know that that's coming straight from me. I know other readers who watch readers and get stuff and then use it on their channel. I've already saw readers copy me. And they have like 20,000 subs, and I'm like, how? And they're copying me. And I'm not even like, I'm just a mom and pops here in my bedroom. But either way, okay, off of that subject. My dream that I had when Mars went into Pisces, and then I started with that cyst on my throat. Okay. The dream started out, I was with friends, and it had something to do where we were out, and we were like out in the country, and then we ended up going somewhere, and it was a friend from childhood. And what happened was she like morphed into like a black, but like almost like with blue feathers, bird. And a truck. If y'all ever saw the movie Twilight, a truck came and slid sideways and hit this bird, and it went and hit against the wall. And like I ran over and got this bird, which was my friend. She morphed into this bird, and I picked her up, put her in a box, and took her to the hospital. And then she, it was fine. That's one of the things that had happened. Then I remember being in like this really dark room with like there was one door, and there was like fire, like raging fire. And I looked back, and when I looked back and then I turned back, I saw this black, it looked like a huge, not a falcon, but like it was weird because it had a tail. It looked dragonish, but yet like a phoenix almost. It's hard to explain, but had like wings, and they were shaped like a bat. And when it expanded its wings, and it spoke to me. And I saw then through the door, it was a bright light, and it said, if you walk through that door, you will never be the same again. Well, next thing I know, I was handed this cylinder type box. I walked through that door, and everything kind of went to like almost like a desert type where there's cactuses, but the sky was like in a sunset mode where like the sky was kind of like, it almost reminded you of what it would look like after a nuclear war. And I had those same two friends that was at the beginning were also at the end. And there's this box sitting there, and it had like a cylinder on the top, and the cylinder part rose up, and I could hear something from like a different realm coming through that box, giving all three of us giving us like information. And I remember like my heart started beating to the point where my heart skipped a beat, and I felt fear. And as soon as that fear came up in me, the box closed and it said no more. And like the box kind of like went dead. And I woke up out of that dream. I was like, what the hell was that? I end up well, I sure hope not. I hope not, but we never know. The world is nuts right now, and we're going through all this stuff for a reason. We're going through this stuff for a reason. Spirit's putting us through these symptoms and getting our light bodies prepared. I mean, I even have the sparkles in my hands. That's one of the symptoms. And you know, you can't find that video anymore. I have, I actually, a few months ago, downloaded. If you turn the flashlight on your phone, you'll be able to tell if you have them. If you turn the flashlight on your phone and move your hand in a dark room, you will be able to legit, if you're going through ascension symptoms, you'll be able to see whether or not. Here, I'll see if I can show you. Hang on. I'm going to flip it around here. Hang on a minute. See if I can turn my flashlight on my phone. Okay. Can't turn flashlight, camera light is, Okay. Apparently I can't show you at this point, but I legit have sparkles all over my hands. If you can see, yeah, I wish I could see your guys' stuff. Hang on a minute. I'm going to see if I can see pull these up more. Hang on a minute. One of the upgrades. My TV turned. Yep. Absolutely. All those things that you're hearing, that's why I'm telling all my subscribers, please, in the middle, especially, you know, Aquarius and Pisces and Gemini, the upper echelon signs, you know, even Aries. I'm an Aries and going through this stuff. So it's not just one sign. However, there's something very special going on with Pisces. I feel like they're divinely protected right now because of where their placement is in the zodiac. They live in the fifth dimension and don't even realize it. Then I'm not the only one. You know, and I felt like I woke up out of that dream. I was like, what the? I've never had a dream like that. And that'll probably be a dream I'll never forget. Oh. Oh, man. I'm telling you. Like, I had this. Today, I'm not feeling the greatest. My sister. Well, there's a lot of people who are skeptic. My whole family's skeptic of what's happening with me, except for one person, my cousin, who makes this jewelry, which is all for protection. And I've been sleeping with my arlesite as well as my my tourmaline. And I also put black salt, which I'll show you. I cleaned my windowsill off today. And I always felt like there was evil stuff coming through here. As you see, I black salted that sucker. I don't want no evil shit coming in my house. I had to deal with it enough. If you guys can get a hold of black salt, do it. Got to think about what that is. My mind's in a totally different realm thinking right now. I had the peace. I was that freaked out. I was like, all right, I need the peace dealer to look at my chart because I ended up developing a cyst in my throat, which left. It's gone. 4 days. That's doesn't happen. If anybody knows about cysts, they don't go away in 4 days. Mine did. Now I'm dealing with other sinus stuff. But whether it's ascension symptoms, I'm positive it is. I'm positive. Here's the thing about that dream. That the woman who I gotta think, her last name's Carrie Yvonne or something like that, her name is. She talks about this stuff. She did. You wanna know what? It's not that I think that Aquarius is cold. You guys can just detach easy. My Mars is in Aquarius. So, you know what that means? When I'm done with the motherfucker, I'm done. When I'll fight and fight and fight and fight and fight against it and try and freaking keep it going as long as what I possibly can. But once I'm done, I'm done. That's what people don't get about me. My daughter she's here right now, actually. My daughter's an Aquarius sun. I'll have to remember that. My daughter's an Aquarius sun, and both her moon and rising is Gemini. She does not conform to shit. She don't want to conform. I told her, I'm like, look, Liv, you want to know what? You know a lot of shit you're learning in school's bullshit. Just freaking do it. Out of school. You only got 2 years left. Get your damn diploma. Tell you what. Aries, Pisces, and Aquarius, obviously. And I like Geminis too. I love Sagittarius. My best friend's a Sag. However, my best friend is in the midst. I went out the other night and I found out she kept on telling me for the last few months, and I'm kind of getting off topic here. I understand a lot of us has dealt with this narcissistic abuse. I guarantee everybody's come across them. They might not have known what it was, but if you listen to other people who talk about it, you're like, oh my God, that person was a narcissist. No wonder they didn't, they did what they did. They can't help it. It's who they are. And here's the thing. It's not the person, it's what's behind them. What's driving that person. So that has been a very good way for me to heal and be like, you want to know what? It really isn't that person's fault per se for what they do, because they're not biased. They do it to everybody. Wasn't just an attack. Well, it probably was an attack at me because of me being a light worker, and trying to get me off my path. It's what evil does. They don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to enlighten other people to the truth. They don't want their time to be up. Because when the new earth gets here, guess who's going to rule that stuff? It isn't going to be dark forces. At one point, I think that I'm not sure. Yeah. I thought my narc was my twin too. And you want to know what? He very well could be. They say that some twin flames aren't supposed to be together. They're just supposed to bring out someone contacted me and said you're mean. Who, me? Someone contacted you and said I was mean. I am. I'm a meanie when it comes to narcissists. And the only reason I am is because it's a war against me and the empaths against these people. Facts. But as far as people, I don't care who says what, whatever. You guys all know who I am on here. So it is what it is. When it comes, I will insult and lob insults at that spirit. It's not even really the person. It's the evil that drives them. And it took me a really long time to come to that understanding. Well, you want to know what? I honestly believe that some twins are narcissists. I do. Well, thank you. I do have a strong personality. It's the way I come across. Just how I am. But that's the Aries with the Capricorn moon. Yeah, well, I'm from Pennsylvania, so I'm right down the road from you, sweetheart. Maybe you, my New Yorker on here, you and I will have to connect up. You're only like 3 hours away. Yeah. One of the things that I would like to, well, I think God can use whatever means necessary to bang it in my head. And kudos to him for doing so. To get me on the right path. Because here's the thing. Like I said, I will wage war against evil narcissists. That's why I started my new channel. Getting there. It's up, it's there, it's just not there. But yeah, as far as false twin, very well could be. I ain't even looking in that. I'd be happy just with somebody who understands me and can actually help me to grow and understand these symptoms and understand where I'm at as a person. Because honestly, I have nobody except for my YouTube people and the Peace Dealer and the $1 Billion Vibe Tribe, thank God. Well, then I must not have met him yet. Must not have met him yet, because all I got was a string of narcissists. You want to know what? Please don't say that. Because pretty much whatever you wish, right now is manifestation time. Wouldn't you rather be enlightened than just be a 3D idiot? For real. I can't even imagine not being able to love or not being able to express love to somebody or kindness. I couldn't. That would suck. So, like I said, being an empath, I even have compassion for them, for those people, because they don't have the ability that somebody with empathic, even sympathetic emotions. Oh yeah. um we have outer body experiences every night when we go to bed. Every time you sleep, your body's sleeping, but your mind never sleeps. It's your spirit's constantly going other places. That's why I honestly think that dream I had to have been in a 5 or 6D realm. Yep, I'm the same way. Part of the reason for that is because you're hypersensitive. Yep. Dreams can, with you dealing with a narcissistic mother, honey, um, you were conditioned to become hypersensitive. That's what these people do. They condition you to become hypersensitive. Because then you're like tapping into your intuition. I could tell you so many damn stories about how I came into this and the synchronicities and the weird things. And it wasn't just from this previous narc, it was from the one before him, and the one before him, and the one before him. It was a whole string of them. Probably since I started dating at 13. I was a magnet for these people. You know, and I probably still am. See, this is why I want to get on here and do chat sessions with you guys, because we can learn from each other, and I want it to be a safe group. I know. Amen to that. I have angels all around me all the time. All the time. My ancestors are around me all the time. I'm pretty sure my guardian angel is my granddaddy. Positive. That's my guardian angel, is my grandfather. It was weird. There was a ceremony we did with Mike, and I think it was for the clapback. Well, here's the thing about my grandfather. I never met him. He was my dad's dad. I never met my grandfather. He died when my dad was 9. And I always had this sense of loss that I never got to meet him, because my other grandfather was in World War II, and the other 2 were on my mom's side. And that was a whole befuddled, screwed up story, because my grandmother, oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. Man, we've really gone through some shit. My grandfather, yeah, that would be one I want protection from. However, my grandfather, when he passed away, my dad was 9, my aunt was 7. My grandmother went to get him out of a bar room one night. Oh my God. Well, talk about generational curses right now. My grandfather was a horrible alcoholic. Some people want to blame it on, him being in the military, whatever, him going through World War II. I don't know. I think it ran in even beyond my grandfather. Either way, he was coming home from the bar that night, and he rolled his car in a ditch. walked away from that accident. I guess he had like a broken leg, but he still stumbled out to the highway, got into a vehicle with people who saw him walking. He knew them personally. Oh, that's not the weird part. Wait till you hear this. Yeah, he flipped his car. He was fine. Walked out to the highway, got picked up by friends of his. Well, apparently the guy, I still know the guy's name, never met him, but he got in this person's car. There was two, it was my grandfather, it was him, my grandfather in the middle, and this is in the 60s. So like they didn't have, like they were, remember the cars with the bench seats in the front and in the back, where you could sit 3 people up front and in the back? Now you can only fit like 4 and 2 and 5, because usually they're bucket seats in the front now. Either way, the 3 were sitting up front. My grandfather was in the middle. Well, they ended up going around a corner real fast and hit a tree. My grandfather went through the windshield and was killed 45 minutes after he wrecked his car. Tell me that is 2 accidents in less than an hour. Tell me that isn't some Final Destination bullshit right there. He was 40, I think he was 41 when that happened. Either way. Yeah. Told you it was weird. My dad was 9. Well, guess what? My dad likes his alcohol and gets miserable when he doesn't have it. However, for me, I could take it or leave it. I could have a drink or 2 and be done. Doesn't matter. I could have no drink. I could care less. Doesn't matter to me either way. But oh yeah, I know that. He's been watching out for me. I'm telling you, we're going to talk about paranormal experiences. How many on here have seen ghosts? Anybody see apparitions, ghosts? I have. How many of you felt them? Like you felt that? How many have heard them? You saw aliens? Well, I'm pretty sure I did too. I have all kinds of paranormal experiences. I need to write books, man. I do. I beg to differ. I kind of differ a little bit on that opinion. My view, because I've actually had an encounter. And this was back when I was still married to my ex-husband. I legit saw, and it was a diamond shaped diamond shaped in my backyard. And it was like with the lights going, it was waiting for me. Green, blue, and red lights. White light with a clear thing at the bottom. Hold on a second. Did you get me my code?
Ellen has it.
Okay.
Bye.
Good deal. Bye-bye. Yeah. It was clear. My dad saw some for kind of craft. Oh, I've saw huge orbs. I get what you're saying with that, Jojo. I get that. However, nobody can seem to explain. Oh, absolutely. With the Egyptian hieroglyphics. However, there's a higher intelligence, obviously, that's controlling everything. Sorry about the coughing, guys. Either way, reptilians. Yeah. Have you guys noticed Hollywood? Yeah, I've heard of them. I was told most of our government here, I was told most of government people across the world are reptilians. Yes. The Kardashians, I've said that. Elaborate that on that, Clear Blue Jay. Your happy workplace as far as invading. Well, yeah, the Jenners, the Jenner girls. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, plastics." Okay, you work at Ulta. See, I haven't been. I don't go to stores. Ow, that hurt my ear. I choose not to go shopping. I like to do a lot of my stuff online. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't want to have a butt that's the size of the Grand Canyon. And I'm quite happy with who I am. You know, it took a long time to get there. Hi, Blue. How are you? Oh my gosh, I'm like, okay. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Like, I'm getting like a real bad pain in my left ear. We're talking about alien stuff now, and it's like, ugh. Oh, go. It's all good. You got food downstairs. Look at him. Blue. Hey. What? You're all good. What do you want? Yeah, well. Well, The rise in the power of what? The reptilians? Or just women in general? Because can you blame them? I mean, it took us so long to evolve to this. Now it's like we're going through these DNA upgrades. Now we're going through all these DNA upgrades and stuff within our bodies, and the molecular system in our bodies upgrading from a carbon base to a crystalline base. It's not exactly easy. It's quite painful. You know, I know. Who do you mean by there? Because I know it's real. Are you talking about the 12 strands of DNA? I got to tell you, oh, scientist. I got to tell you what happened to me when I went to the emergency room about that cyst in my throat. That's because you astral traveled. Your spirit did. Well, absolutely. They'd love to keep anybody with power and authority. You kind of feel like what? You know, the way with astrology and how everything is playing out, where we had the trip eclipses. Mm-hmm. Well, we had the trip eclipses this year. We had how many blue moons this year? Blood moons this year. And we're due for another eclipse on the 5th of January. I kind of feel. Good night, sweetheart. Check out my Gemini reading if you didn't get to see it yet. I kind of feel like it's one of those things where, you know, we're coming into 13 now. What do you mean 13 now? Well, either way, the way the astrology is going and what happened with the Uranus through Aries, that was, and it wasn't just Aries got hit hard, but that was everybody in the zodiac who has Aries in their chart. Good night, honey. Everybody who has Aries in their chart, our whole lives have been shattered and been tossed to ruins. Talk to any Aries. They'll confirm exactly what I'm saying. Everything's different. From 2011, from the time it went into Aries until now, nothing is the same. Nothing. You know, and I ended up going through college during that time and getting my degrees and stuff. And it's like, all right, I know that I did that and it was divine. I know that there is a purpose for it. I just don't know what it is anymore. Every Aries pretty much is having relationship problems. We can't manifest a relationship if we frickin' try. Spirit saying no. And that has been for a lot of Aries. Before it was no problem. I don't know if it's just because I'm old and I don't know. I can't manifest a relationship if I try or have anything steady or stable. It's like I had to learn how to be content on my own and learn my own self-worth and self-value that didn't come from outside sources. I had to learn how to find that Four of Swords that I talk about all the time, which Spirit gave me the depiction of that card. It's my go-to card. And it comes up in a lot of frickin' readings where I feel like I'm talking to people who have, or the people who are drawn to me are the ones who have either overcome this or can relate to what I'm saying. Well, congratulations, you got Jupiter. When is that eclipse? That is a really weird pain in my ear. Either way, I'm pretty much, you know, I'm dealing with, hospital. I want to get back to this. When I went to the hospital, they did a ultrasound to see what was in my throat. And they concluded it was a cyst and it came from my thyroid because I have hypothyroidism. Interesting enough, I started that while I was with the last narcissist. Not this current one, can't blame that on him, but the one before him. And they called me bipolar. No, my hormones were just out of whack and my thyroid stopped working. I have a pituitary tumor. We are the root. We are the fire starters. We lead the zodiac. However, we get ridiculed. Aries gets ridiculed a lot because we start things and then we tend not to want to finish them. It's because we're not called to finish them. We're called to start things and then lead the fire, ignite that shit, and the rest of the zodiac's supposed to take off with it. We're just the ones who get the freaking. I know that. I get that. I completely get that. Aries has been heavily attacked and we have been on the battlefield forever. Here's the thing. Aries usually is the type who, we start things and then we're on to the next. It's how we're genetically programmed. And it's why we were born at the time we were. In the spring, during the spring equinox. The spring is when all the plants start coming up and blooming. However, it takes rain, earth, and oxygen to allow that flower to come up and bloom. But we're the seed. We're the seed as an Aries. Well, guess what? They come and steal the seed. Then there is no flower for air, earth, and water to nurture. So we're the seed planters in the zodiac. We're not there to technically do all the nurturing, the giving the oxygen and feeding. We're just there to plant. And we get a bad rap for Yep. Got my Bible over there. I'm going to tell you what. The other sign that's at the veil, it's at death. It's at the end of, and it's when you come into your high priestess mode. That's Pisces. They're extreme. They got a direct line. We have a lot of times Aries has to fight through our ego to be able to hear the voice. Not saying everybody doesn't have an ego, but either way, Uranus came through and really hit Aries hard there. So we came into this thing in an accelerated pace, where Pisces has been in it since the time they were born. They've been screwed with by dark forces since the time they were even inside the mama's womb and came out her hoo-ha. They have been the most heavily attacked water sign. Yes. Absolutely. You know, and now we had to go through that 7 years of Uranus. Even though I was extremely sensitive before all this, and I've experienced seeing apparitions. You two, I will be uploading. I'll be going live. I'll be doing the rest of the tarot for the rest of the signs, hopefully within like the next 2 days. So, and then I'm going to get on to the mini love readings. Either way, yeah, I had to click off. Someone just tried to call me too that I probably should have answered the phone, but whatever. I'm on doing this. Either way, Aries is extremely valuable to the zodiac, and we get overlooked a lot. I love you too. You know, and here's the thing though. There's a lot of Aries who have a lot of freaking pride that if you got pride, you can't be used. You have to be able to yield yourself. Which is exactly what I did in 2006. On my face. At a conference called Global Awakening. Where I got hammered by God. I was not only just baptized in the Holy Spirit at that point, I wanted to know who I was serving. I wanted to personally get knowledge of who Jesus is, how he moved, how he healed people. Not just read it in a book. I wanted to experience myself about what he went through. Well, guess what? Yeah, don't pray that unless you plan on going through a lot of bullshit in your life. But it made me a better person, and I will never, ever, ever take that experience away. I got baptized in fire and power. For healing the sick, I went on a mission trip to Brazil, saw it for myself. saw demonic manifestations. People say demons aren't real. There's a woman on here that says, oh, that stuff. I'm sorry. When the Holy Spirit shows up and there's evil entities that are attached to people, they manifest. Sometimes throwing up and scratching, gnawing, clawing. I'm telling you, it's real. I saw it. I experienced it. I legit laid hands on somebody because I got a word of knowledge about somebody having a brain tumor and it affected their eyesight to the point where, like, I felt it in my body. We need Leo support. You want to know what? Good luck. I hardly have, even on my channel, hardly any Leos that watch my stuff. They think they're better than everybody else. That's just the facts. And I hate to say that, but they're too busy being cops and working in government. How many Leo tarot readers do you know? You want to know what? I have a lot of friends, personal friends of mine who are Leos. My cousin's a Leo. And she's pretty spiritual. She's the one who she's the one who makes this jewelry. So she's extremely and she's the only one who gets me. I have her support. However, I've come across some Leos that if they ain't making 6 figures a year, their life's a failure. If they're not running and being the boss of everything, their life's a failure. They got a lot of fucking pride. Sorry, I don't know who I pissed off now, but whatever, they do. They need to get rid of the pride. It is what it is. I wish we could get their support. Due to a Leo, I lost my job because she was a fucking narcissist. Gaslit me, lied to the other superiors. It's the way it goes. I didn't care. It was local government. I was ready to get out of there. I said, God will bring me in. God will take me out. He did. He did. He's still on here. Yeah. My father's a Leo. My dad will do, they're hard workers. Don't get me wrong. But you want to know what? If they see that you can do something better than them, they can't handle it. They'll sabotage you. Or try and one-up you. Just to prove a point. That's pride. Well, manipulative. But they have this fiery, lovely, persona about them until you have something that they don't have, and then they have to sabotage you. All depends on the rest of their chart, or whether or not they're a narcissist. I've come across a lot of Leos who are fucking narcissists. There are some I've come across who are empaths, like my cousin. Like, she would do anything for me. And I have some really good friends who are Leos that are females. However, some of the ones that I've come across, don't expect support from them. If you don't do it their way, you might have a better system and a better way that works for you. If you don't do it exactly their way, which doesn't work for you, they'll make it that you either have to do it that way or they'll make sure that you lose your job. Especially if they deem you as inferior to them. Because they have this gotta one up, gotta one up, gotta one up. My cousin's not like that. My cousin's married to an Aries man. And I don't know, like my boss pretty much put, and not so much my dad, but a little bit him too. But my boss, I saw Leo in action when I worked at the county. I saw how they work. The fact that I could get shit done my own way in my own time, that usually didn't go right along with her time frame, but guess what? It was done right at the right time because I'm an Aries. I do shit at the last minute. That wasn't okay with her. Fuck it. I don't care. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Which that's an Aries attitude too. Whatever. See if it doesn't affect me either way. Everything seems to affect a Leo. If you don't do it their way, the best way, so they think, that pisses them off. Depends on how strong it is in their chart too. Well, that woman, I know she was a narcissist. She gaslit me. She projected. She lied about me. Well, you want to know what? She came across like she did. And I treated her with the utmost respect. I helped her get her job as a boss. I said nothing but nice things about her because she trained me. And then guess what? Her and I, we would be out on the road all the time, spend umpteen days together. And that woman had me fired. Because guess what? She saw there was people calling in that very week, calling in to get put on my caseload. Because they knew I cared about them. And she dug up as much dirt as she could find, which a lot of it was lies, and had me fired. I wasn't picking, dude, you have to learn like a stack of paperwork like that. I just finally got it all down where I understood everything that went with what. And then they fired me. So then they had to train somebody else. I never saw that paperwork before, but I finally figured it all out. And then, yeah, they fired me. I was never in that office. I couldn't stand being around those people. I'd rather be with my clients who needed me. I wasn't allowed to take them to therapy. I could take them to the psychiatrist. I could take them to the grocery store. I could take them to the PCP. I could take them for freaking alternative surgery consultations, eye doctors, dentists, the laundromat, the pharmacy. I did. I did. I was never in that office. However, the people who I worked with were always calling in, these people in mental health, they all know each other because they go to something that's called like psych rehab, where it's group settings where they come together. They talk about who their case managers are in there. I had 3 or 4 people call in asking to be put on my caseload before it got full. They didn't like that. I didn't tell them to do it. They did it on their own. But they knew I cared. Either way, yeah, I saw the bullshit, and I called it bullshit for what it was. I wasn't allowed to take him to a therapist, but I could take him to a fucking laundromat or the grocery store, but I couldn't take them to therapy. Even if I sat out in the waiting room. Nope, we don't do that. Why? Don't ask why. We don't do that. Because you know they're going to get better. And you know that, guess what? Somebody else actually, could fill in their spot that needs help. No, they want to keep people sick. Well, when they stand before God and they have to, say, I kept people sick. That's not going to be me. That's going to be them. They didn't like the fact that I talked about astrology either. I didn't give a shit. Like, yeah, it's a full moon. I could tell people were like, ah! Full moon, expect the phones to be ringing off the hook. Can't figure out why they're not getting better on their medication. They end up back in the hospital. It's like a revolving door all the time. And then they change up their medication and or rip medication from people when it starts working. I saw that. You want to know how I knew about all this whole thing? Because it happened to me through Narcissist B. Oh yeah, you're bipolar. We're going to put you on a mood stabilizer and depression medication and psychotropics. And do you know how well that worked? For somebody who is dealing with hypothyroidism and a pituitary tumor. It doesn't work for somebody who has hypothyroidism. Guess what? I get put on my hypothyroidism medication and my levels get regulated until the narcissist comes back home. Oh, absolutely. They do. I'm going to tell you what happened with the narcissist, the one before this. This one, I told him about, I had a suicide attempt. My ex-narcissist, the one in Florida. I didn't realize what was going on. This was 6-7 years ago now. I did not realize what was going on with me. And him and I had well, he wasn't the only narc. There was one before him. He was a low-functioning narc, though, who pretty much just sucked me dry financially. Wouldn't get a job, couldn't work. This one had a job, spent tons of money on me, which I could care less about that, because he cheated on me every time he went. He'd work out of town two weeks and then come home for 5 days and be back out of town for 2 weeks. Talk about emotional dysregulation. And then I'm hearing things in my spirit about him cheating on me. I heard conversations going on. And then I come to find out I was correct. I heard the conversation of the text messages that they were sending back and forth in my mind. That's how I knew I was psychic. The way he was treating me, that son of a bitch didn't even come home when my favorite grandmother passed. He didn't even offer. Actually, you want to know what he did? He ghosted me. Either way, back to the suicide attempt. Yeah. I ended up, saying, fuck this shit. I'm over it. I took about 60 pills. Ended up dying 3 times on the table. Near-death experience. coming to with somebody from behavioral health sitting there saying, well, either you sign a 201 or we're 302ing you to divine providence until further notice. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So, ended up in there. I was a mess for like, I knew how to play that whole thing now. As long as like you get your bearings back, you say, oh yeah, the medications, and you're released to, somebody who can take care of you, you're fine. Either way, I'm not on any mood stabilizers or depression medication anymore. None. And I'm fine. The only thing I take is my hypothyroidism pills. I'm sorry. I got all this stuff happening. My ears hurting. Either way, I was basically from there on out. How long were you in the hospital? I know one thing, my teeth started cracking after this last narcissist. I got to go to the dentist bad. I have a really bad cracked tooth. I still didn't go. But I'm kind of like, all right, well, should I even go because of what's been going on with these ascension symptoms and stuff? Should I even go? Is it even going to? I think I should because it's starting to cause me some pain. Ghosted I am. What does that mean? What do you mean by ghosted I am? Either way, I know one thing. I'm not depressed anymore. I figured out what it was. It was me dealing with the abuse and the psychological fuckery. Had nothing to do with my own chemicals. It had to do with my thyroid and my pituitary spitting out massive amounts of prolactin and cortisol pulsating through my body. I put on 75 pounds in 3 years. As soon as I got on my hypothyroidism medicine, I shed it all. But, yeah. This path, for me, had started a very long time ago. Back in childhood. I had a lot of shitty things happen to me. But I don't let that dictate anything. I look at it as, I understand now. I understand. That was a point to get me to this point, to get me to this point, to get me to this point. Because I needed to learn a lesson here on not everybody has good intentions for you. That's why you have to love yourself. And when you feel that you can't get validated by outside sources, that takes a hit to yourself. You know, when I hear people say stuff like, why can't other people just love me? Well, that's not your problem or mine. They ghosted me through tech. Well, I got ghosted when my grandma died. He wouldn't even talk to me. My ex didn't even offer to come home. Cancer. Who has cancer? You mean the zodiac sign or the disease? Either way, I had all kinds of paranormal experiences. Before I moved into my house that had was riddled with spirits and didn't know it when I bought it. So I started, fixing it up. I was in Gettysburg and I saw spirits. Saw them. Not just an outline. I saw what they looked like. Bright colors. And I have other people who saw the same thing. My mother was one of them. She won't even talk about it. I bring it up. She's like, oh, she's a Virgo. She don't like talking about it. She knows what she saw. We all saw it. And it didn't happen until I spoke it out. And I was like, if there's something here, I want to see it. Well, we go driving down the road a little ways and come back up around. And sure enough, there are 2. Confederate soldier and a Union officer standing on either side of a cannon. You what? No, I don't have cancer. Thank God. Why? Because I'm wearing a hat? No, I don't have cancer. I have a pituitary tumor. Non-cancerous. Here's the interesting thing. I have hypothyroidism. They go in and look. This is what I'm talking about with this ascension stuff. They go in and look and do an ultrasound on my thyroid. The guy said, for having hypothyroidism, you sure got a nice looking thyroid. And I'm like, well, what do you, he's like, most people who have hypothyroidism, their thyroid's like deteriorated. He's like, yours looks perfect. And I'm pretty sure the pituitary tumor I have is also part of ascension symptoms. I'm positive that's what's happening. It's crazy what emotional and psychological abuse can do to people. How much that can screw somebody's hormones up. There has got to be more awareness. But one of the things I can say is I don't hate or even dislike. I don't like what they do, but I have no ill will toward any of those people anymore. Let them do what they do. Whatever. I really don't want to see other people hurt, though. And that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. If we don't figure this out. That's why the mental health, I'm telling you, that's why mental health is so screwed up in this country. It's because people have been narcissistically abused and they don't realize what it is. They chalk it up to being bipolar. Or they chalk, dude, the same symptoms, CPTSD. those symptoms, bipolar. Did you say a half man? Well, all I can say, I saw shit. It's been my whole damn life. That's how I know I was brought here for a purpose and a reason. I was shown mysteries. I was shown things that seemed to be impossible. So am I. Gonna tell you what, we're coming into a time. If you if you look at what I looked like in my first videos, and I know that you saw a lot of my first videos I did when I was first freshly out of the whole this last narcissist. I'm way more upbeat now than what I was back then. It's just facts. Like you can pretty much tell that I was pretty beaten down back then. I went through years of abuse from these people. And then I know he watches my YouTube stuff. I know he stalks me on YouTube. He pretty much said it. The stuff he made comment in reference to, the stuff that he made comment in reference to about my stuff, he had to have got from watching my YouTube. So well, yeah, blood of Jesus does. I still feel that if there's a purpose for somebody's life, I believe people can change. We haven't seen it yet within this community as far as narcissist goes, but God can do anything. You know, most people say they can't change. You are what they are. But then again, I look at it like this. All it takes is a Saul to Paul. Like God shows himself, boom, on their face. Demons leave, period, gone. I believe that can happen. I believe we're going to start seeing that. When light workers start getting out, when we start feeling that time to where we need to come out of our houses again and be enmeshed and implanted, I'm not saying ingrained, implanted within society, we're going to start seeing that. We're going to start seeing people to get delivered. Okay, I'll definitely check that out. Well, either way, I feel that. Doesn't mean that anybody who has abused me in the past ever deserves a place in my life. They can go be happy with someone else. Because I pretty much have moved on. Happy to say so. Haven't moved on technically in my love life. I'm learning to love me. That's where you need to get. That's where I need to get. It's where we all need to get, is a good, pure love and healing that inner child and those wounds from childhood. And understanding that's not your fault. And the thing, as far as like with narcissists and stuff, here's the thing. They've been abused in childhood as well. So for them to, I don't want to say them, for what, Molly? Well, all I can tell you is God's in the time of exposing. You'll be able to, I can see the fakes on YouTube. Hey, stop it. I can see the fakes on YouTube. Stop. I'm sorry. She's bad. She wants to be on camera. Shh. I tried to hold you. I could see the fakes and phonies versus the real people. Either way. And I know that my stuff's being watched too. There's 2 people on here, and the only one that's talking is you, JoJo. So, like I said, I know that he's watched a lot of my videos too. He's probably watched all of them, in which I had to respond, "You're making me almost pee my pants." Not, "Hey, at least you're watching my YouTube." No, I don't. No, I don't. And then he ends up saying stuff about stuff on my YouTube. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, you're going out. Hang on a minute. I love you. Now stop. Go. Go on. No. No. Out. Well, I'm 43. I don't know if I even have a twin flame, to be honest with you. And I think some people get stuck on that. And then they sit and wait years and years and years in borderline abusive bullshit. Because they have the whole, you tell me, is that runner chaser dynamic real with real twin flames? Well, that makes sense. However, like I said, I don't know. I don't even know if I have one. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. I was told twin flames are so rare that I'd just be happy for somebody who's like on the same level and wants to grow like I do. And actually respects me and I respect them. And gives a shit. Like, pretty much I would jump in front of a bullet for any of the people I was with. Facts. Either way, I think I'm going to end this. This is like 2 hours and 10 minutes long. But kind of wanted to chit chat and talk a little bit and see where y'all were at and, you know, talk a little bit about these ascension symptoms and stuff. See who's all dealing with that. I know they said something. I know one of the symptoms was like your hair grows really fast. Hang on. Well, that's what I think too. I don't think I have a twin then. I don't. I think it's just me. Oh, I do understand that. Some people in childhood, though, all they understand is hurt, even into adulthood. It's just all they know. And that's not technically that person's fault. It's what they grew up in. Does that make sense? That's kind of the way I look at it. But yeah, like I read some stuff on false twins and I'm like, I kind of just lose the word now because I think too many people get stuck in this false or what they think is a twin flame and it's just an abusive relationship. And then they think it's a twin flame and then they can't move forward. Yeah. Well, mine must not be on the same plane as me. Try not to have in this life. Whatever. I'm 43. If they come in, they do. If they don't, whatever. You know, I'd like to have a partner in crime here. But I know that I had to get myself in order. And I'm slowly doing that. I mean, 5 months out of, you know, my whole life. 5 months out of my whole damn life. That's nothing. But I'm telling you what, my healing's been rapid. Like I said, if you go back to my first videos to what I look like now and how more upbeat I am and how I can think way more clearly and talk about my experiences and not just talk about narcissists all the time, you know, I have other better things to talk about than them. Unfortunately, they're everywhere. And sometimes spirit will tell me to get back on that. I listen to what spirit tells me to do. I can tell when I start getting real upset. Spirit will pull me back, man. He's like, nope, you're figuring this stuff out. But every day I always watch stuff about narcissism. I keep it in the forefront of my mind. I won't go and not think about that anymore because I don't want to be duped again or, you know, and it's interesting. I'm going to say that. I'm going to put this out. A few weeks ago, there was somebody who I was talking to and it was younger than me. Because I'm a light worker. Either way, I heard the same old, I watched when I was talking to this guy. I heard the same old mumbo jumbo about the exes. It was like verbatim. And something in my spirit was like, yep, okay, he's another one. They're everywhere. He knew I was empathic. I showed him some of my videos on narcissism, and his mouth dropped, and he's like, oh, well, I wish I would have known this, like, back when I was younger. I'm pretty sure he's a narc. My body does need upgrades. Working on that. Either way, from what it sounds like, from what other people are experiencing, that woman's name is like Carrie Yvonne. And when she talked about ascension symptoms, the 11/22/11 portal, and then if you watch that video and when you get off here, she talks about the bat, and she basically talks about she had the same dream I did. So I'm right on in line. I know I look like hell tonight. I didn't wash my hair because I was cleaning my house all day, so I stuck on a hat. I don't care. I do know from back then, when you see those first freaking few videos I did, which is part of the reason I did this YouTube diary, because this has been my journey, and I don't regret anything that I did. It's painful for me to go back and watch those videos to see how broken I am, to see how fucked up I am. It's painful for me to watch. So I realize I came a long way, baby. I know that. So if you see from then till now, it's like different person. Thank God. My angels have been helping me. But yeah, I guess this right now, from what I was told with what the cellular DNA stuff that's happening right now is like within your thyroid, which is interesting. I got that cyst. It's in your thyroid, your pituitary tumor, with sinus stuff going on with your ears. So I'm right on track, which I'm fine with that. Do what they got to do. And it's interesting because every once in a while I'd have this particular narc, the last one, he would invade my dreamscape. I'd have dreams about him all the time for months. And then they just stopped. Thank God. But then he still weasels his way back in sometimes. Don't know. I don't know if it's an attack. I don't know what it is. All I do know is, well, thank you. I'm more than okay. I might be feeling a little under the weather and all that other shit. I'm more than okay. I'm way better now, feeling a little bit congested and all that other stuff. I'm way better now than what I was 5 months ago. Even though I may have looked, my physical appearance has changed tremendously. It's weird. I noticed that, like, I don't even look like the same person. It's kind of odd how much even my physical appearance has changed. My facial structure's changed. Go back and look at my videos from back then and look at what I look like now. My facial, I feel like my eyes are more closer together than what they were back then. I don't know. But yeah, shit's changing. And of course, like, my ex is like thinking I'm a whack job now. Not like he's not already one, but some of the nasty shit he said, like, about me being a whack job and my alien tarot readings and blah, 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 blah. And he's miserable cuss. I'm not. Sorry, I could be happy. I could be happy going through everything that I've gone through. Like I said, I put this right on for the world to see. I don't care. What are they going to do? Yeah, send me the link. You do that. I'd be very interested to watch or read. Either way, I'm going to end this right now. So, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Jeez. 222. You take care, JoJo. Like I said, I'm gonna probably in December. Yeah. Thought about doing it during Capricorn season. Well, that doesn't start until Yeah. I get that too. I'm a weirdo. Oh wow. You wanna know what? The whole time that guy was with me, he's like, "Oh yeah, I believe in aliens. Oh yeah, I believe in this and that. Oh yeah, I believe I love astrology." He doesn't know anything. He knew nothing. All right, well. I know. Well, I'm going to end this. I will be on tomorrow to do readings. I should get on tonight, but my ear's really starting to bother me now. So, probably just going to relax and chillax and get on and do readings tomorrow. So, take care. I will talk to you later. See you, JoJo. Thanks, everybody, for coming on. Bye-bye.